Hello there. Let's solve this SQL problem, find customer referee. We have a table customer, and what we are essentially doing here is to find the names of those customers where the referee ID is not equal to 2. It's a simple case of filtering with a where clause, and let's see how it's done. In this example, we have these two rows where the referee ID is equal to 2 and we do not want them in our output. But if you look closely, we have null values. So we do want them in our output. Null is a marker for unknown value. So this customer is not referred by anybody. Let us write some basic SQL to filter out those values. So select name from table customer where referee ID is not equal to 2. When we run this, we get a wrong answer. That's because the null rows are missing in the output. So this statement apparently did not bring the null rows. So how do we get them back? In SQL, it uses something called a 3-value logic system. In 2-value logic, we have either true or a false. In 3-value logic, we have a third value called unknown. SQL uses 3-valued logic to handle nulls, the third value being unknown. Think of it like a traffic system. It only passes those rows that evaluate to true, like a green traffic signal. So in this example, this row is passed through, while these rows get a red signal, while the null rows are evaluated to unknown. So the comparisons involving null return unknown rather than a true or a false, like a yellow traffic signal. So to retrieve those null rows, we need to use a special syntax, like a isNull operator, for checking the null values, as the comparison operators like equal to doesn't work for nulls clearly. So now when you run this, we got our null rows back. And let's submit. As you can see, the code is accepted. Now let me show you a few more ways to write the same SQL query statement. And one of them is this, using a coalesce function. Coalesce function takes a list of values and returns the first non-null value that it encounters. So here in this example, if the referee ID is null, then it returns 1 because that's the next non-null value. Since 1 is not equal to 2, the records are passed through. So we get the null rows in our output. In MySQL, we can also use something like this, is null of referee ID. It will either evaluate to true or false based on referee ID is null or not. So here if the referee ID is null, it becomes true and then it passed through. Or we can also use this statement, if null. So here, if the referee ID is null, then it's replaced with 1. And since 1 is not equal to 2, those records are passed through. Alright, to peg everything down, null values are placeholders for missing or undefined data in a database. And they are distinct from a 0 or an empty strings. And we have seen the usage of isNull operator. And we looked at a few functions like coalesce, isNull, ifNull. And I hope this helps you effectively handle nulls, as it's crucial for maintaining the data integrity and we get the accurate query results.